Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. Right today we're gonna make out a Python project, and what is that completely related about? I will just give you a very quick idea in regards of that, right? That Python project which I'm talking about, that's completely related to somewhat a GUI project. Okay, so today we'll be making out a screenshot taker with the help of the GUI. Right, so we'll be adding up some graphical user interfaces onto that GUI, and according to that only, we will be making up a screenshot taker. Fine. So what sort of project it is gonna be? So I would just first of all give you the idea in regards of that. Then moving forward. So this project will be somewhat an idea that I will be making up a very small GUI, and in that case I'll be having up a button somewhat in between. So onto that button it would be written that take a screenshot. So as soon as I click on that respective button, so the screenshot for me would be taken in regards of that. Next, as soon as the screenshot has been taken, the file dialog box will automatically open, and it would ask me that let me know that what's the location where you want to save up your screenshot whichever has been taken out by you. So I would select up a location for saving that up. Next, other than that, you could put up your own image format as well, PNG or JPEG, whatever suits you. You could just put that out and save that accordingly, and afterwards you could just go on that particular location and check up your screenshot. So yes, that would be completely saved at your saved location, right? So this is the complete idea in regards of this project which we are gonna make up today. Okay, so hope I am very much clear with this respective thing, that what's the idea of our project which we are gonna follow up today. So let's get started out without wasting any of the time here. Okay, great. So first of all, I'm going to import up the tkinter library. So I'm going to write import tkinter as tk. Okay. Okay, 1 second. It's as, and here goes tk. Fine. So this tk is the short form which I have given this to my tkinter library. Okay. So that's completely a short form. Moving forward, what I would be doing is that from the tkinter.file dialog, I would import everything. Now, what's the need of doing out that respective thing? So, as I already told you that I will be doing up the things. Let's say whatever the screenshot has been taken up by me, so that screenshot I will be saving up at my respective destination where I just want to do. So, for that, the file dialog will automatically appear at that respective place. So, in that regards, it's compulsory for me to put up the file dialog. Okay. So I'm gonna write up the here from file dialog file. So it's not like that. It's from tkinter. From tkinter dot file dialog import asterisk. Okay, so from tkinter dot file dialog import asterisk. So this is how it's gonna proceed. Fine. Now what I'll be making up is that I'll be making up the tkinter window right here. So I would take up the variable its adds window is equal to, and here goes my tkinter window. Okay, I would do up one simple thing. I do not need to write it out like this, right? It's completely fine actually, okay? So, window is equal to, and here goes tk.tk, and 1 second. Let's correct that out very quickly, and I would just write as tk, fine, and here as well goes up that same, which is tk.tk. Fine, now it's completely fine. So this is how we make up the tkinter window. I simply wrote up here window is equal to tk dot tk. This tk is the short form which I have given it to my tkinter library, and this capital tk refers to my tkinter window. Okay, great. Moving forward, now I'll be setting up some dimensions for this respective window which is gonna appear at. Okay, so in that regard, I would simply write up here as window is equal to tk. Okay, before that I would set okay, let's do not set up any of the dimensions, but I would set up the background color for this tkinter window. Okay, so here goes window.config window.configure. Okay, into the bracket I'm going to set the, let's say, background color as let that be yellow. Okay, And at last I'm going to write out here window dot main main loop and the brackets. Fine, let's quickly run that out and let's see that what is the output which we are getting up right here. So yeah, here I'm getting out a very small tkinter window, and that's of the background which is yellow color. Okay, great. Getting down here, now next what I'll be doing is that I would set up a label. So here goes my window. Okay, window is already made up. So let's say we take up variable as a. Okay, that's equal to tk dot, and here I am having up the function which is canvas. Okay, tk dot canvas. Now into the bracket I'll be setting up the variable which is window comma. What's the width of my button? 150. Okay, height. One second, HE. Height of my button 150. Okay, so width and height of my button would be 150, comma color for my, that's the BG color for that. BG color would be let that be red. Okay, FG color would be the black, that's completely black. Okay, if I actually want, I could set up some font size to the button as well. So whatever will be written up. Oh, sorry, this is my canvas, right? So yeah, width is equal to this. Fine. Here goes a dot pack and the bracket like this. Now if I try to run out my program once again, so let's see that what's gonna appear out. So yeah, FG won't work out here. So for the canvas it doesn't work out. So what I would do, I would remove up this BG and FG from here. Okay, let that be what it is right here. Now let's quickly run that out for now. And yeah, here I have that respective one. Okay, I have this canvas for me. Now here I could set up the image if I want. Okay, here I could set up the background color once again if I want that out. So comma BG would be, let's say, yellow here. Yellow, fine, and I would just run that out once again. So yeah, that's working, and I would comment out disconnect, and I would comment up this respective line. Now that's not needed. Fine, great. So this is stand out by me. Now I'll be making up the button for me, right? That what sort of button do we want to make out? So okay, let's say b is my variable. So here I'll be using tk dot. My button is my function into the bracket. What text we'll be writing? Text is equal to okay, let the text be take. Okay, let not that not be. It would be, let's say, click me. Fine. Click me and double inverted this exclamation marks actually. Fine, this is my text which I want to put up there. So it goes click me and the double exclamation marks. Fine. Separated by a comma, I could set up the font and the color and everything. So my BG color for my button would be red. Okay. Next, okay, let that be black. So it would be black. My FG color, that's my font color, that would remain up as white. Okay, separated by a comma, we have the variable which is command. So what am I going to set on the command? So for that I would just write up a separate function. So I would just give the name for that function. So my function is, let's say, work name is of my function. Okay, and it's separated by a comma. Okay, not comma here, comma, I would just simply take it downside from here, comma, fine. Before that, now here I'll be putting up the font. Okay, so font is equal to, what's my font thing? I want to my font to be Arial. The size would be, I just did that small, and my size would be, let's say, 15. Okay, and I want that to be in the bold. Fine, so the fonts have been decided up by me right here. After this, I could simply use up okay, above we used up a, right? So a is equal a dot create underscore window, and here I could set up some sort of some respective dimensions as well. So let's say that be let that be, it's 150, so let that be 75. Okay, so that would be in between 75 comma 75 comma, and what's the window? So window is gonna be the function, that's the, so window is gonna be the variable which is b, right above which we declared here, in which we were having up the button. Fine. For now, I would just remove up this comment, command for some time, because I just want to run and check out my program, that whether everything is working fine or not. So now let's quickly run that out and see. So yeah, see out here that it's a very small sort of box which is appearing up here, and here I have an option for click me, and that's my button. Okay. Right now nothing is happening because we haven't set out anything to happen up right now, because we haven't declared any sort of function like that. Great. Getting down here, what I could do, I would define out my function, that's work, which I declare, which I had mentioned up. Getting down here. So inside that now I'll be writing up the things for taking up the screenshot. Okay. So here what I'll be doing is that now I would be needing one more library to be used up, and that's pyautogui. Okay. So here goes import pyautogui. Fine. So if you haven't installed this library till now, so quickly write up the command, that's pip install pyautogui onto your command prompt or terminal wherever you want, and pip install pyautogui. So that would be installed up for you, right? So I already have that out, so I'm just not installing that once again. So here what I could simply put up is that I could write up here, let's say screen. Okay, let me put up the variable as short. Okay, short is equal to, I will be declaring up that same module which we imported above, that is pyautogui dot. Okay, and I need to take up the screenshot. So here goes my screenshot function. So the screenshot function is already predefined into the pyautogui library, and that's only the reason that why I am using up this pyautogui library into my program. Okay, getting down here now, I will be, as I mentioned up, that it will be asking you that where you want to save up your image, right? So image as my variable, and for that we'll be having up the function that is save as file name, and put up the bracket. Fine. So this is my function which we have, that is save as file name. Okay, so what it would do, it would actually ask you to ask that at what place you want to save up your screenshot or save up your file screenshot which has been taken up by you. So it will be asking that at what sort of place you want to do that out. Okay, getting down here, you have the next thing. We'll be using up that variable which is used by you above, that was short dot save. Okay, now where to save? So that we have already declared in the variable which is image. I'll be putting up plus, that is in addition, and I will be taking up this as that, put it in a form dash, I mean just give out some space ss dot, and I would mention that on the png only. Okay, so you could save up your images in the png, or here instead of this png you could do it as jpeg. Okay, now what have I written in this respective line? So when my dialog box will appear and it will ask me that at what place you want to save up your image, so I just select out that respective place at that respective folder wherever I want to save up my image, right? After that I would be writing up the I'll be giving up some name to my file. With that name my file will be saved. So as soon as I give up, let's say my file name is demo1. Okay, demo1 is my file name. So with that demo1, this ss.png will automatically be added. So okay, so if you forgot to add up some extension or some file type, so it will automatically add that for you. So this is the idea, that's why I am putting up this ss.png. Otherwise if you don't want, no compulsions in that respective case. Okay, if you do not want to do this out, you could you could skip this part, or you could you just do not put that respective on. Okay, no issues in that case. Great. So the 75,75 have been placed up. So right, I think it's good to go. First let me quickly give you the idea of the program once again, then we'll be proceeding on. Fine. So I imported the tkinter library. the tkinter.file dialog and the pyautogui. Why I imported up the tkinter? For making this as a GUI project and for adding actually the GUIs, and pyautogui was added so that I could use up the screenshot function which you have up here. So here goes my window as a variable which is tk.tk. This tk1 is actually making up the tkinter window for me, and the small tk is the one which is referring to my tkinter library. Fine. After that, I took up a variable that is a, and into that we made up the canvas for our GUI, and width and height would already set up, and you could have a BG color as well. Okay. Then here goes a.pack, and everything is actually sorted up at the respective place. Then we declared up the button. Above the button, onto the button, actually what was written? It was written click me. So what it will actually do is that it will, let's say you clicked on that button, so it will allow you to take up the screenshot. Okay, this is the idea for declaring up the button, some sort of like this. And then you have set up the background color for that. It's black. The foreground color is white. One second. You wanted to set up the font as well. So that is Arial, size 15, and then bold. And the command you are having is work. Fine. Then where to put a place of this respective button. So my image was 150 cross 150. My canvas was 150 cross 150, right? So I simply wanted to put up this button at the center. So I'll simply use 75, 75. So that's the reason it would be placed up at the center. Then we were having up a variable which is window, and that we had set it to B. So basically on window, what to set that out? Set B, and into B we were having the button. So it was putting up the button onto the window. And at last, window.main loop is basically to close out my program in a sort of tkinter. Let's say you do not write a window.main, you do not put this main loop at the last. So what's gonna happen that if you do not have any error in your program as well, then as well you won't be able to see out the final output. So as that you could see up the final output, this main loop function is used at the end of your GUI. And one more thing, that if you're using this main loop, if you're writing up any line or if you're declaring a label or button after the main loop, then as well that won't be considered. So whatever you write out, just write that inside the main loop only. Inside means above the main loop only. Do not write anything below the main loop. Otherwise that won't get out executed. Fine. So here you did that out. This was a function that is work, and into that you put up the short, and here goes pyautogui.screenshot file. Ask save as file name and image.plus ss.png. Now let's quickly run that out program and let's see that what's gonna give us as an output. So I'm running this out right here. Okay, so here is my window. It's just coming. So click me is my button. Let's say I click on this window. Okay. So see, I just get out my dialog box which is appearing. Let's say I just put up here my screenshot. Excuse me. So let's say I just put up the name as demo and click on save. Okay. So at some sort of time you would see that actually one thing, that the screen blanked at that respective. It blinked at some point. Okay. So let me now close this out from here. And let me minimize this window. This as well. Let's go on to this. Let's see here, demo SS. Double click on that. Just as soon as I am clicking on that, what it will do, it will simply open up the image for me which has been taken up by me as a screenshot. And yes, this was the right image, right? I was speaking and it has been taken up by me. The screenshot has actually been taken right here at the respective place. Now if we just like check out the name as well, so if we just go on to this right here for a like time. Let me click on the settings and let's see what's the name for this respective library. So this respective image. Let me close it out from here. Let me close this one as well, and this one, right? I would just right click onto that and I would just show you up the other thing. 1 second, just give me 1 second. It's quickly opening up right at this place. So what I would do is that I would show you up the properties, and into the properties I would show that how it has actually saved up. So see, demo SS is my SS was automatically coming, right? And what's my file name? It's .png. It's a PNG format image screenshot which has been taken. So my complete file name is demo SS PNG. Fine. So this is how you could make up a screenshot taker for yourself with a GUI. And if you don't want to add GUI, then no issues. Do not do that out. Simply you could write up the simple command that was 4 to 5 lines of one, and you could execute that program as well. Right, so hope I made up this respective thing very clear to you that how you could make up a screenshot taker, that's a GUI screenshot taker with the help of Python programming language. Right, so hope you enjoyed out this respective project. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.